Now, outside of that little rant, let's get right to the next expert. Today, I have Gordon Drummond from Sessions College with me. Right into it. What's up, Gordon?
Good morning, Philip. I enjoyed your interview.
You got it, man. All right. So this is something that I find particularly fascinating. So I'm excited to ask you this. College costs in America are huge. And a lot of young people are wondering if it's worth it. Now, but let me phrase this by saying, I was born in Denmark where education is free. So this is a conundrum I struggle with. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Is it worth it?
Well, it's true that college costs are a major concern for consumers. You're probably familiar with the student debt crisis,
Yes.
that the average student graduates with over almost $30,000 of loan debt currently. And, the question is, what's causing this issue? College costs have been escalating at a higher rate than even healthcare costs over the last 10 years. And the thing is that online education can be part of the solution. The reason that college costs are so high is that when students go to college, they're paying for many, many things that are separate from what actually happens in the classroom.
That's correct.
So when you're paying tuition or you're attending college or you're taking out your loans to go to college, you're paying for the experience, paying for the activities on campus and all of the bundled experience. It's actually a wonderful thing. Online education can be more affordable because the online schools don't have the same overhead or responsibility to provide all of those separate pieces.
Yes.
So, online education is providing a challenge really to traditional education by offering equally high quality programs, but doing it online and doing it in a more affordable way.
You bring up an interesting point because, again, with online education having a more affordable option, if your aim is to, of course, just get the diploma, the information, so you can be more valuable in the marketplace. Whereas the college experience is the network and all of the experiences you get with that. Still, college enrollment is down this year. I mean, perhaps for obvious reasons, but do you think this will continue because things have changed? Will it get worse? What are your thoughts?
Well, there's been a massive disruption in the college experience for students. If you think about in March 2020, 14 million students went from traditional classes to online classes that were suddenly delivered in an online form. And that was an emergency measure that all colleges had to in order to continue to deliver education to their students. So there's been a change in college, there's been a change in the workplace, a massive disruption with many students, many working adults working from home or working out in the world as essential workers. So the nature of work, the employment situation, and everything has been disrupted. And what we're seeing is some of the education system has gone through terrible stresses. The latest data on the community college system, which serves many students who are trying to get education in order to further their careers, is that enrollments are down 10% in the fall. And the reason for that is people are finding it increasingly hard to go to classrooms. The nature of the education's changed, and students are unsure about whether the colleges are still providing quality education online. So many students are waiting it out, which is a bad thing for students and it's a bad thing for the economy. My feeling is that students should be looking to fully online institutions as part of the solution, because online schools who are fully online have this for many years.
Right.
My institution, Sessions College, has been around since 1997, if you can believe that.
Right.
And so we focused entirely on online education all throughout that period. We never had a physical campus. And so we deliver education in a way that's affordable, it's accessible, it's flexible, and it's designed for adult learners. And that's an adjustment that's been very hard for traditional education to make.
And speaking of traditional education, and really quickly before we have to wrap it up, what can a college education, whether it's on campus or if it's in an online format, virtual format like yours, which would be properly primed for an environment like this, but what can they get from college education that they can't necessarily get from life experience and all the information that's widely available out there?
Well, yes, it's much more than information. I mean, they can get, by studying in an online school, they can get an education that's affordable, that's accessible, and that can provide the same skills and outcomes that you can get in a traditional classroom. So, there is a myth that online is just about taking an academic class. Most of the online classes and institutions focus on career education for adults. So it's very practical, and it's a format that can fit into the challenging schedule that we all have now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this conversation, Gordon. A lot to decipher and sort of unpack there, but it's very interesting for sure. I appreciate your insights.
You're welcome. Thank you, Phil.
You got it, man.